You've now decided to take control and begin the journey towards a healthier you. During this journey, you will be faced with obstacles since the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol is an uncompromised, no shortcut, no cheating allowed protocol to weight loss. If you follow the protocol exactly, you will achieve results, and as your coach, I will be with you every step of the way. Let's begin your journey. First, let's talk about our new contract, you and I. Every diet has two objectives. The first is to lose weight, and the second to stabilize and maintain your new weight. To reach these objectives, there must be a contract, and it takes two to establish that contract, you and I, your coach. Dieters achieve weight loss, our first objective, because they are successful with the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol. However, the second objective, to stabilize and maintain your new weight, is often forgotten. Once the emergency is over, the weight loss, and that you've taken off the pounds, your priorities change. That's why together, we will go through our plan to maintain your desired weight, starting right now, to make sure that we do not repeat this much too common mistake. This brings me to our second topic for this consultation. No diet is the definitive diet, including our protocol. Remember this key phrase, a diet is not a vaccine against weight-related issues. I often hear people who are concerned about gaining back all the pounds of weight they work so hard to lose. Does this sound familiar? You may have heard cases where a friend or relative lost the weight with a diet and then gained it all back. I, on the other hand, can talk about many people who were successful in losing weight and have not regained any of it. So what does this mean? It simply means that in both cases, weight regain has nothing to do with the diet or even our protocol. Lifestyle choices and having a plan for maintenance are the key elements. Here's another key statement you must remember. Physiologically, our bodies are designed to store fat, not lose it. Once this is understood, it removes the guilt around weight gain and lets you focus on how to manage it. Ideal Protein provides a detailed protocol for weight stabilization, maintenance, fitness, lifestyle, and you'll also learn how to manage your deviations. However, keep in mind that if you, as a dieter, have ongoing and underlying concerns or issues such as sadness, happiness, stress, and mixed emotions in your personal life that contributed to the weight gain in the first place, they must be identified and addressed beforehand, as they are all too often related to eating behaviors. They will always be a factor that will undermine and can affect weight maintenance. Until you recognize that every pound has a story, you'll run the risk of putting back on the pounds you lost. Now, let's take a moment and talk about this in more detail. For instance, a woman has two stories. First, a hormonal story, including puberty, birth control, pregnancy, and eventually menopause. And second, a life story. As a rule, in almost all cases, pounds are put on during times of discontent, not during times of pleasure. When pleasure and morale are high, weight concerns or issues are usually low. On the other hand, when pleasure and morale are low, weight concerns or issues suddenly become an emergency. This is why we can state that pleasure plays a major role in weight issues. Appreciate that there can be no lasting balance in your life without pleasure. Pleasure is a fundamental notion to be discussed throughout your weight loss journey. Have no fear. In maintenance, you'll enjoy a variety of foods, some that you've always loved and even new ones that we will help you discover, all of which will provide you with pleasure. Next, let's cover 3 long-standing myths related to weight loss. Everyone knows that poor eating habits can result in weight gain. However, proper eating habits do not necessarily result in weight loss. When it comes to dieting or weight loss, we always hear the same thing. Eat well through a balanced diet, reduce portions, and exercise regularly. Which of these do you think is the right solution? None of the above. And let's talk about why. First myth, eat well through a balanced diet. To most people, eating well means eating more balanced meals, doesn't it? Balance is when things are static. For example, a balanced budget means that it will not generate any surplus, nor will it increase overall debt. In other words, our financial situation remains stagnant. So, if I put you on a balanced diet, within the strict sense of the expression, you'll eat well and you won't gain weight, but you won't lose weight either. Second myth, reduce your portions. Eating less is all about quantity. Obviously, you won't lose weight if you eat more, although some people can eat what they want in any quantity and not gain an ounce. But then again, some individuals eat reasonable portions and still gain weight. That's because there's more to weight gain and weight loss than just monitoring quantities. As we explained earlier, weight gain is above all related to your metabolism, your hormonal and genetic makeup. Third myth, one that is easier said than done, exercise regularly. At Ideal Protein, we understand that exercising is a good way to stabilize your weight, when combined with proper nutrition once you have achieved your goal weight. However, if you were to focus exclusively on exercise to lose weight, do you know that you would have to run the equivalent of a marathon to lose 1 pound of fat? Is this accurate? Let's run some numbers. First, 1 pound of fat converts to 454 grams. Pure fat contains approximately 9 calories per gram. Medical literature states that the body fat tissue is 87% fat. Using these values, we can conclude that a pound of body fat actually contains anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 calories, depending on your body's composition. Knowing that running a marathon can represent anywhere between 3,500 to 4,000 plus calories burnt, depending on body composition, body weight, running time, body type, and so on, this is how you can understand that losing fat by exercising alone represents a significant number of hours spent exercising. So now you must wonder, how do I gain weight and how do I lose weight? Simple. In order to lose weight, you must temporarily create an imbalance in your nutrition. This can only be acceptable if first, it is not dangerous, and second, there is a beginning and an end. So, how do we create this imbalance? What should you restrict from your daily food intake then? At Ideal Protein, we like to simplify this question by classifying foods in 3 types. Firstly, the foods that make you gain weight. These include pastries, pizza, French fries, and all the foods that are very high in carbohydrates and fats. If the majority of our daily food intake is made up of these types of foods, it can lead to weight gain. Secondly, foods that do not make you gain weight. Cucumber, lettuce, celery, and all the vegetables that are low in the glycemic index. We like to call them lean and green. These vegetables are found in our unlimited raw category. You can consume these vegetables as often as you would like without worrying about gaining weight. And finally, most people do not realize that there is a third type of food. These are the foods that prevent you from losing weight. An organic apple or a slice of whole wheat bread are very nutritious, but they can prevent you from losing weight. Why? Because our bodies chronologically burn simple and complex carbohydrates and sugars in all shapes and forms before fats. There is a simple analogy to illustrate this fact: the checking and savings account. For the body, simple and complex carbohydrates are the equivalent of a checking account for immediate consumption. Fat, on the other hand, is considered a savings account, meaning your reserves, to be only used once there is no more money left in your checking account. To lose weight, Ideal Protein will teach you how to withdraw money from your savings account, helping you to burn those fat reserves. How will you achieve this? If you restrict daily consumption of sugars and fats, your body will be forced to turn to its other resources for energy: fat and muscle. This, however, could pose a concern: loss of muscle mass. Muscle is the engine that burns calories, and if you have less muscle, you'll burn fewer calories and store more fat. Now, to be really efficient in the fat-burning mode, the solution is to restrict your daily consumption of most sugars, simple or complex, and restrict most fats, while supplementing with high biological value protein to prevent muscle loss. This is what the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol provides. So then, is Ideal Protein a hyperprotein protocol? No, it is not. The Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol provides the minimum daily requirement of protein your body needs to function optimally and to maintain its vitality. Hyper means too much. For instance, hypertension means high blood pressure above recommended levels. Although protein is an important and essential component of the protocol, it is not consumed in quantities above the recommended levels. This is why the term hyper should not in any way be related to the Ideal Protein protocol. But is eating protein dangerous for your body? A protein-based diet is not dangerous for the simple reason that protein is not an active ingredient. Eating protein is not the same as taking medication. Eating protein is part of a healthy nutrition regimen. Amino acids contained in protein are the building blocks that ensure we maintain vitality. Not only in our muscles, but our hair, skin, bones, organs, millions of cells. Basically, all that is vital is made of protein. Why the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol? Firstly, because the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Protocol helps to maintain muscle mass with the intake of an adequate amount of protein daily. Remember, the muscles are the engine that burns calories. Secondly, no matter why or how you gained weight, there's always a common physiological denominator: pancreatic dysfunction that results in insulin overproduction. You've heard of insulin before, right? It's a powerful hormone secreted by your pancreas that's responsible for lots of things in your body. Most people know that insulin lowers blood sugar. Also, insulin is known as the hormone that enables what is medically known as lipogenesis. Lipo meaning fat and genesis meaning creation, thus the creation of new fat. When we eat carbohydrates and our blood sugar goes up, the pancreas secretes insulin and returns blood sugar levels to normal. This is healthy, as long as we are consuming an appropriate amount of carbohydrates. Since the average person consumes way too many carbohydrates, that means that the average pancreas is secreting excessive amounts of insulin. Over time, this chronic overproduction of insulin results in a lowered sensitivity of the body to that insulin. This explains that if an overweight individual eats sugar, their pancreas will produce more insulin than necessary. A vicious cycle. When the pancreas is in this state, it is functioning like an overheated engine. When an engine overheats, it must be shut off to enable it to cool down. Once it is cooled down, you can then restart it to make it more efficient. This is exactly what you will do with your pancreas while on the Ideal Protein protocol. By restricting simple and complex carbohydrate intake, you will reduce your pancreas's workload and give it time for this much-needed rest. Another question you've surely asked yourself is, why Ideal Protein products instead of conventional food while on the protocol? Let's explain this important question with very simple facts. Firstly, with over 80 different foods available, Ideal Protein offers you multiple flavors and textures, which will remain fresh and tasty thanks to our individual packaging processes that meet the highest industry standards. Secondly, all of our foods are packaged in individual portions containing a precisely calculated amount of nutrients to ensure a maximum amount of high biological value protein with a minimum amount of calories and saturated fats. Finally, individually sealed packets also ensure convenience because we understand the challenges related to planning and having foods that are readily available to accommodate our hectic schedules. For most dieters, the Ideal Protein Phase 1 protocol will require many changes in your eating habits, and therefore, we facilitate this transition into your new lifestyle. And there we go. We've now completed our first consultation. Through our journey together, we will not only focus on weight loss, stabilization, and maintenance, we will constantly share the most important part of Ideal Protein's success recipe: education, education, education. It is crucial for you to learn how your body works, how you gain weight, how a fat cell is created, and so on, so that you can fully understand and make the right choices while in the maintenance phase. As your coach and partner in this journey, my main objective is to ensure that you not only achieve your goal weight, but also that you be able to maintain and feel like you're in control of your weight for good.